10 p.m. Hospital rounds. As she was making her rounds, she reached room number 11. The nurse gently opened the door. Inside, on the bed, a beautiful 27-year-old girl was staring blankly at the wall, whispering something in a low voice. Seeing her, the nurse felt a bit strange. Her legs seemed to refuse to go inside the room. There were many such strange patients in that mental hospital, and such behavior was quite common among patients with mental illnesses. And for a nurse, this was just routine work. But it was her first day at that mental hospital. The silence of the night and the sudden knock of the wind added more fear to the eerie scene. She was in deep thought whether to go inside or not. Mustering some courage, she had just taken one step inside when suddenly the girl burst into loud laughter and started making strange movements. Her face was towards the wall. She suddenly turned her neck backwards. The nurse was drenched in sweat. Her legs seemed to be stuck there. With trembling hands, she closed the door of the room and ran towards the reception, calling out for another nurse. "Sister Sunita, Sister Sunita!" Sister Rachna reached the reception running. At the reception, another nurse was talking on the phone to someone. "Auntie, please don't worry. She's perfectly fine. We are taking good care of her." Saying this, Sister Sunita hung up the phone, and seeing the other nurse, she asked, "What happened, Rachna? Why do you look so scared?" Then, Sister Rachna told Sister Sunita everything that had happened. Oh, that was the mother of the girl in room number 11. She calls every night to inquire about her. They admitted her here just a few months ago. Then, with curious eyes, Sister Rachna asked Sister Sunita, "What exactly happened to her? She looks quite beautiful." Yes, such a condition can only be in two situations: when someone loves like a madman and doesn't get that love, or when there's a shadow of some spirit on her. Hearing this, Sister Rachna was shocked and asked, "So, what happened to her?" Unfortunately, both. Then, Sister Sunita started telling about Naina. Naina was 27 years old, studying in her final year of engineering. Naina was the most beautiful girl in the whole college. All the boys in the college were crazy about Naina, but Naina had created a different story of her dream prince in her mind. Every day she would dream about her prince entering her life. Naina's dream world was quite different from real life. Naina often talked to herself and sometimes laughed out loud. Her parents were very worried seeing this. Naina was at the age of marriage, and they felt the need to find a good match for her. They brought several proposals for Naina, but she rejected every one, saying that boy was not like her dream prince. After repeatedly rejecting many proposals, Naina's proposals dropped to 0. Her parents worried, but she dreamt on. It was night, around 12:30 a.m., but Naina was still awake. Her room light was still on. Naina was sitting by her window, smiling alone while looking outside, writing something in her diary. She had a habit of writing in her diary, where she had written everything about her future life partner. That diary was very close to Naina's heart, so much so that her soul seemed to reside in it. Smiling, she was writing something in that diary. These behaviors of Naina were not new to her parents, so they didn't pay much attention to it. The next day, Naina went to college. Today was Naina's 27th birthday. She had also brought her diary with her. Naina's friends celebrated her birthday quite nicely. In her group were her best friend Nisha and 2 new friends, Ishan and Jatin, who had become friends with her just a few months ago. Both secretly liked Naina, but hadn't told her or each other yet. That day, in the college library, Naina was writing something in her diary when she suddenly got a call from her mom. In a hurry, she forgot her diary there. Jatin picked up the diary. Seeing that no one was noticing, he quickly put it in his bag. Back home, Jatin started reading Naina's diary. As he read each page, a frown appeared on his forehead, and a different emotion was visible in his eyes. It was around 1 a.m. when Jatin finished reading the diary. With a crooked smile on his face, he placed the diary on the side of the table and went to sleep. Meanwhile, Naina's room light was still on, but the strange thing was that today Naina was very disturbed. Her room was completely messed up, and she was frantically searching for her diary. The sounds coming from her room woke her mother, who came to Naina's room door and knocked. "Naina, Naina, are you okay?" But there was no response from Naina. Her mother called again. "Naina, dear, are you okay?" Yes, Mom, I'm fine. Dear, it's very late. Go to sleep." Saying this, her mother went back to sleep. Here, Naina felt like crying. It seemed like she had lost her most precious thing where she had stored all her dreams. Wiping her eyes, Naina turned off the light and went to sleep. After much effort, she managed to fall asleep. The next morning, Naina came to college but looked very sad. Seeing her sad, Nisha asked, "What happened, Naina? Why do you look so sad?" "Nisha, remember that diary in which I wrote everything? It's lost. I can't find it." Ishan was standing there when Jatin arrived. Seeing Jatin, Naina's eyes widened. He was wearing the same clothes that Naina had written about in her diary. Seeing Jatin, Naina started feeling attracted to him. On one side, there was the grief of losing the diary, but on the other, there was the joy of finding her dream life partner. Jatin proposed. Naina said yes. Both Naina and Jatin were very happy, but there was no happiness on Ishan's face. It seemed his heart had broken, but he stood there, silently watching everything. As days passed, Jatin's passion for love grew. He started doing strange things for Naina's love. He wouldn't let anyone near Naina, even alienating Nisha. One day, he even got into a fight with Ishan. Jatin started doing bizarre things for Naina's love. Sometimes he would write Naina's name with blood all over his body, or send love letters written in blood to Naina. Naina was now scared of Jatin's behavior. One day when Naina visited Jatin's house, she found her diary there. Seeing her diary in Jatin's room, Naina was shocked, along with some love letters and pictures of girls in the drawer. As she was looking, a 45-year-old man appeared there, which scared Naina a bit. The man said, "Don't be afraid, child. My name is Kishore. I'm Jatin's uncle. I live in Bangalore for work and come here every week to check on Jatin. Poor guy. He has no one in this world but me. His parents died in a road accident, which deeply affected his mind. He's been fighting mental illness for some time now." Hearing this, Naina was shocked and said, "What did you say? Mental illness?" Then Jatin's uncle said, "Yes, mental illness. He feels that every beautiful antique thing in the world should be his, so he collects all such beautiful antique things and keeps them in his house. Look, the whole house is filled with such things." Naina looked around and saw many such antique and beautiful items in the house. While she was looking at those things, the uncle continued, "He doesn't understand emotions, only attracted to outer beauty. And if that thing gets spoiled or broken, he destroys it completely." After hearing Jatin's uncle's words, Naina was completely shaken from inside. Showing the photos in the drawer, Naina asked, "And whose pictures are these?" Then the uncle said, "Child, these are pictures of Jatin's first girlfriend. I've met her only once, every time I saw him with a new girl. I don't know what happened to them or where they went. I never asked him much, because the doctor had advised against talking about such things with him, which could anger him, and in anger, he could do anything." Naina was looking at those pictures. Although all those pictures had one thing in common, all those girls were extremely beautiful. There was another photo in that drawer, placed upside down. Naina, with trembling hands, picked up that picture and started looking at it. Seeing that picture, Naina's eyes widened. It was none other than her own photo. Seeing her photo in that drawer, Naina felt goosebumps. Gradually, everything was becoming clear to Naina. She couldn't bear it anymore. Naina ran back to her house and shut herself in her room, sitting in a corner. She wanted to scream, but no voice came out of her mouth. Jatin's call. Naina ignored it. Naina no longer had the courage to talk to him. Several days passed. Naina didn't go to college or meet anyone, didn't talk to anyone, just sat alone in her room looking at her diary. Today, for the first time, she started hating her diary. On that day, the front page of the newspaper had news that a boy, heartbroken from love, had jumped from his building and died. Alongside that news was a picture of Jatin. Seeing that, Naina was completely shocked. It felt like all her strength had left her body. Naina stopped going to college, spending her days sitting in her room, staring at the walls, muttering something in a low voice. "I didn't do anything. Please leave me alone." Everywhere Naina saw, she only saw Jatin's spirit, who, laughing, would say, "Naina, I'm still waiting for you. You are only mine." Hearing Sister Sunita's story, Sister Rachna was shocked. The silence of the night and that scary tale were creating fear in Sister Rachna's heart. Then, suddenly, all the lights in the hospital started flickering, and suddenly, all the electricity went out. Now, Sister Rachna was very scared. She took out her mobile phone in fear, turned on the flashlight, and started calling out for Sister Sunita. "Sister Sunita! Sister Sunita! Are you there?" But there was no response from Sister Sunita. Then, Sister Rachna found a note on the side of the table, which read, "Rachna, I had to go somewhere due to an emergency. Your phone wasn't reachable, so I left this message. I'll be back in an hour." Reading this, Sister Rachna felt as if someone had taken her life out of her body. With her fear-filled eyes, Sister Rachna looked around. Then suddenly, she saw a shadow in one corner. It was Jatin's spirit, who with a crooked smile on his face, looking at Sister Rachna, said, "You're also quite beautiful, and beautiful things belong to me." Laughter. Saying this, he started laughing loudly. There's a huge difference between the world of dreams and real life. Sometimes it even crosses the boundaries of life and death. If you like this story, please subscribe to us.